applied to TCM because I kind of wanted the hands-on experience dealing with money and securities. I also wanted to learn and apply my financial analysis skills to like practical or real work use. So we could be doing reports, collaborations with the professors, collaborations with the other students. And that's why I wanted to join TCM.
I just really, first of all, wanted to surround myself with peers that all wanted to essentially achieve the same goal, which was trying to better themselves, especially in the finance landscape, especially when it came to just finance language, right? When you're first getting into this industry, there's a lot of jargon and people are having these conversations and you're like, well, how do I make sense of that? How do I kind of participate and try to understand what's being said? So for me, I just wanted to be able to surround myself with peers that, if I had questions I could go to, that, it was kind of a camaraderie type situation that I really wanted to involve myself with, especially while I was still a student.
I can also add to that a little bit. I think why I applied to TCM in the first place, it was actually because I was in Professor Smith class, and he talked very well about it and encouraged students to apply for it. And it sounded like a great experience. As Phillip said, like being around people who think like you, want to go into the same field as you, whatever conversation you have about the markets or business, like it doesn't bore anyone. You learn from each other a lot. So you just get a good sense of what you might want to look for after graduation and getting more knowledge about the finance industry as a whole. And there was a lot of things that made me want to apply for TCM. Yeah. Yeah, I can start this one off. So we're coming to the end of the TCM experience. It's almost been a year now. And I think the things I have learned and the way I think about companies or business industries, this entire world has completely changed, and I've learned so much. So I've had a really good experience in TCM because not only do you get to spend so much time with professors and mentors and students who care about your success and their own, but the environment as well that you get to learn in is incredible. So my experience has been really good in TCM. And then one moment that sticks out to me, it was probably the first presentation we did in front of the board. You just get thrown into this group of people who you haven't spent that much time together with yet. You're still getting to know everyone, and you're getting to know the portfolios, what companies you have, strategy. In the beginning, you're very much just thrown into it. You feel like Bambi on ice a little bit. So that was definitely an eye-opening experience, being presenting our strategies and what we want to do for this semester and our thoughts on the markets and the economic environment. Still COVID happening and everything else. So I think that experience stood out to me as, really coming together as a group and how you figure things out, and then whatever criticism or comments the board had, you had to take it, move on with it, and do something good. So that was definitely something that stood out to me.
My actual experience was very similar to, what I originally expected. You hear a lot about, what is required for TCM, whether through alums or, through the professors. So you always hear about the long hours that you might have to put in, whether it's for a presentation for the board or whether you're working long hours to write a research report and collaborating with others in order to get the report done. So I'd say, the professors and, what's on the website really prepares you and, prepares you for, what to expect in the program. And I think that, overall, my experience was really good. Working with others and learning from, whether professors, mentors, or the board members. It's a great experience, and you really do learn a lot.
I'm looking at Eira. You want to go for it? You got quite a lot of extracurricular activities going on.
Yeah, Eira definitely needs to start this one off.
I think I definitely, moving into this year, it's my final year on the tennis team. Smith and TCM and doing 2 capstones, I definitely felt like I had a lot going on, and I was a little overwhelmed with how everything was going to work out. But, you know, actually having a lot of things on your agenda, it helps me keep my day structured, and it helps me keep everything, you know, in a day where I don't have anything to do, I'll spend hours doing nothing productive at all. So having a very strict schedule with what I had to do, it really has helped me through this semester and through this year. But I think you also have to be prepared to give up, as Phillip said, a lot of weekends, a lot of long hours, Saturday nights, Friday nights. You know, you're gonna have to be willing to sacrifice some of them to put in the work for TCM and other things that you're doing. But yeah, I also think what helped me a lot was, you know, seeing how hard the other TCM students worked. Like anytime you would walk past the TCM room in the business building, there would be some people sitting there typing, looking a little stressed, you know. There's always someone there who has something to do, which would really help motivate others, myself included. So I think you just have to be really organized with the things you have and plan out your days and dedicate certain days to just one project, or you have to chop it up however you like to do it. But yeah, I think being organized, knowing your time, and getting started on project in advance, definitely. And then yeah, be ready to give up some weekends.
Yeah, like also going off on Eira's point too, is that I think a big thing about TCM that you really don't see as like a benefit is that you figure out how much you can handle as an individual. And it is really a skill set that it takes to have within yourself, that you have to prove to yourself that whether you can handle everything all at once or not. And it really shows like the personality of the people in the program, just to see them consistently working day in, day out, no matter what they have. And I think that that strong will and that dedication is something that comes out if you're willing to put in the hard work. But it really takes a very strong individual to say, you know what, I don't have time for this, and how to prioritize something to make it work. Because if you really want it, it'll work out and you'll figure it out. And it's just really being headstrong and figuring out what works for you at the end of the day. And like, of course, all of us are busy. We have multiple internships, multiple jobs. I had 3 jobs just because money was tight and I was trying to afford rent. But I think at the end of the day, there was a satisfaction knowing that you were able to complete what you needed to complete. And I feel like there was never a day I wasn't proud of what I did and the results that I got. Even if sometimes they weren't positive, I feel like there's still some satisfaction knowing, hey, I did all of this on my own and I got to where I am. I don't regret anything. I think first and foremost, don't be afraid. It's a very daunting thing to step into that interview, to stare at alumni and professors and really explain things to them. And it may be nerve-wracking, but I think a really big core of this program is that change is inevitable. It happens every single day, and it's all about stepping out of your comfort zone as well. I think prospective students are people who should really embrace that knowledge and that concept, bring about a new wave of ideas for our program. People who are confident in admitting that maybe they did something wrong. People who can communicate very, very well and state that, okay, I really appreciate your suggestion, I'm going to implement that. Or stand up for what they believe in. Basically, people who are ready and willing to do the work, someone who's strong and can also handle being in a team. I know a misconception today is that a lot more people believe that they're team oriented when they're really not. And I think that's something that TCM really does train individuals to realize. And like Eira had mentioned before, our first TCM presentation, it was very chaotic the day before when we were preparing in the TCM room. And I think that it just goes to show how like far along we've all come, organizing ourselves, figuring out all the differences, working out the kinks. And I think that it takes a very unique type of student also to really overcome all of that. If you can embrace change, if you're a strong, confident individual who's not afraid to take criticism and also able to defend their stance, then I think they're going to do very well in the program. And you don't need experience to start off with that. You just need the correct drive.
I had an amazing experience competing in the CFA IRC because not only did we learn a lot about investing related skills or even improving your soft skills like communication and teamwork skills, we also spent a lot of time outside, spending time with your mentors or teammates. For example, we went to Professor Ko's house. We ate food together, watched some football games, and just bonded. So that was, a great experience and had lots of fun. But at the same time, there's a ton of work that goes into this competition. So you're going to spend, hundreds of hours reading research reports, 10Ks, initiation reports surrounding the target company. So a lot of reading, a lot of, research and analysis skills is needed to successfully compete in this competition. And also you need to communicate. So each person is assigned a particular portion of the report. By one time you need to meet up and share your ideas, share your analysis. This is what I think about this company's financials. This is what I think about the competitive analysis. So you need to put the puzzle pieces together in order to have a strong report and presentation. And one of the most valuable things I took away from the competition is how to communicate and write in a professional manner, because you're going to have to write a 20-page investment report, and also a 10-minute presentation where you're presenting to industry professionals or practitioners. So you learn a lot on how to really just step up your communication skills, your analysis skills. So that was definitely the most important or the most valuable thing I learned. And you learn the most from your mentor and Professor Ko. So we had Derek Derman, who guided us throughout the whole process, taught us what are the key things to look in this company, and how to really structure your report and also structuring the presentation. And of course, Professor Ko was along us the entire way, and he also taught us the same things. And he spent many hours alongside us to really strengthen our skills. And he was, the mentors and Professor Ko's was a vital, part of competing in this competition. And I think learning from them is where you get the most value, because they have a lot of experience in the industry and they're just very knowledgeable. So those are my key takeaways.
I guess you could add that because you're working on a report pretty much the entire semester long, you're able really to get a lot more granularity when it comes to different skills when writing the report, whether it be industry overview, right? You're not just writing industry overview for one company and one report that has a certain deadline. You're spending the entire semester refining that. The same goes with valuation, same goes with, comps and everything. The one thing I do want to add is, I don't know if we made TCM sound like, oh, you're going to lock you in the room and you're going to be just grinding away until you get this report. You're not allowed to come outside. You're not allowed to have water or food. I think John alluded to hey, there's definitely getting to know one another, building those close relationships. And, I think the CFA, through our CFA IRC team, back in 2020, I mean, all of us are still incredibly close, and some of them just couldn't make the call tonight because of other reasons. But I'm sure they would be more than happy to be here if they could. And I mean, just talking about memories, I had this one Snapchat recording of there's our team captain Alex. We were trying to figure out how do you do a hook in your presentation to put a sell rating on Avery Dennison. For those of you who don't know, Avery Dennison makes labels and tags. So think about this as, labels on a t-shirt, right? And his idea was so ridiculous. It was so cringy, but it was why don't we just go hey guys, why don't we just go oh, let's bring an actual scanner. Let's scan this label and be like, wait, that's not the right price. It's lower than what the price tag actually is, or something like that. It was super cringy. But those are the type of memories that you make, and those are the type of relationships that you're able to build. And it puts a smile on your face at the end of the day when you think about it. But overall, this you're gonna have your work cut out for you if you do this challenge. But I think you learn a tremendous amount, and you make really great memories along the way.